Quite often, people will just say, well, I just want to feel confident. Okay, but what does that mean? What does that mean for you? Why do you want that confidence as well? Okay, so some beautiful ladies this morning have some great answers already on the thread down below. Mostly kind of sitting around the self-trust area and not looking for external validation. Yes, ladies, that is my number one tip today, and is always my number one tip to do with confidence, because confidence is about self-trust. For so many years, you can feel lost and be seeking advice from people who possibly aren't even the right people to ask because they don't know anything about the topic that you're asking them advice for, but you ask them anyway because they're perhaps somebody close to you and you want to have that validation and reassurance that you're correct. I have a little one who's just come stood next to me. Hang on. Hello.
Yuck.
Come on, I'll be there in 2 minutes. Sorry. So yes, self-trust, number one. Now, how can you trust yourself? Stop asking people. Even when I found myself still wanting to do it, I actually did it the other week and I thought to myself, why did I do that? I knew he was going to say that to me. Okay, I'm talking about my dad here because my dad, he's an excellent businessman and he has his own ideas about how he should run a business. And I might have mentioned something that I was trying to work on in terms of my writing and where I was publishing my stuff online. And he obviously, in his age, has no clue about social media and how it works now. And he came out with a flippant comment. And it really annoyed me. And I felt annoyed. But afterwards, I had to remember, hang on, Sam, why did you ask him? Why did you ask anyone at all? Because you know what you want to do what you want to do and what feels right for you. I love writing. I find it way easier than coming on and talking on camera. Although I'm stepping that game up too, but yeah, I love writing. And B, he isn't the right person to ask. You ask somebody who knows what they're talking about with social media. And I wouldn't have been feeling annoyed had I trusted my own instincts. And the only way to do this, ladies, is to just stop. That's it. Just stop asking. Trust yourself when it comes to anything in your life to do with decisions. Don't even go there. Just stop. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, dating yourself. Okay, why? Why should we be dating ourselves and dating ourselves forever? I just wrote an article which I published on Medium and I spoke about this a lot. If you haven't seen it, go and read it. I will drop the link in again anyway. I'll pop it on this live. But it explains why dating yourself is so important, because we can attach our identity to the fact that we are a mother, a daughter, a sister, have a job, have a career. What happens if those things disappear? What happens, like what happens to me when you find yourself after 10 years getting divorced? What happens when that disappears and you don't have that title anymore? What happens when COVID happens? What happens when you can't run your business because you're not allowed to? When those things are taken away from you because they're external. And actually, all external things are never in our control. What happens to us? We end up slipping back into questioning ourselves, not knowing who we are. In fact, not knowing who you are is one of the number one reasons why women come and work with me. Because they want to find themselves again, and it's about self-rediscovery. And sometimes after trauma, stress and anxiety, we just don't know how to do that. The best way to do that, ladies, whether you are single or with somebody or married, it doesn't matter. You should always be dating yourself. And that is committing to time every week where you are doing something for you. That's it. Doesn't matter what it is. And it doesn't have to be expensive or extravagant. It is just time that you prioritize for yourself. Now, I'm a mother. I have one on the way. I'm running a business. I'm on my own, still not living with my new partner. So I still regard myself as a single mum. And it would be very easy for me to say, oh, I just don't have time, and put it off. Because we have this habit as women to put other people, our children and everything else that needs to be done ahead of ourselves. But what does that do over the long term with our self-esteem and our confidence? How does that actually leave us feeling when we don't bother to go get our roots done, when we don't bother to go and take ourselves out for that walk and do that thing that we promised ourselves? Every time we promise ourselves that we're going to do something and we don't do it, we're killing tip number 1 at the beginning of this video, trusting in ourselves, which is the entire basis of your self-confidence. So dating yourself regularly is the best way. Okay, so tips number 1 and 2 help work with that together. Building up your trust and building up that love for yourself. And keep doing that even when you're with somebody. Because it's also really easy to lose your identity in a relationship. Decide to do something that your partner wants to do over something you want to do. Sit there and choose to binge Netflix instead of something else that you're passionate about. I worked with a beautiful client. She knows who she is. And often she would feel guilty for wanting to do her knitting or something else that she loved whilst her partner was watching something he wanted to watch. She felt that in order to connect and be there with her partner, she should be doing what he was doing or do that thing together, which left her unable to find the time to do the thing that she really wanted to do. We can do different things alongside each other, guilt-free, together on the sofa or in separate rooms. It doesn't matter. Okay, so that's tip number 2. Tip number 3. This is a hard one, ladies. Regularly seek discomfort. What do I mean by that? Regularly seek discomfort. We want to hide from things that feel uncomfortable. Our ego wants to keep us over here in the comfortable box, but running your business or living your dream, or writing that book you've always wanted to do, whatever it is, doing that painting is out here. We know that. We know that in order to follow our heart and our passions, we need to move outside that comfortable zone. Okay? Seeking regular discomfort means doing things that give you the heebie-jeebies all the time. Like, I felt nervous coming on this live, but I know as soon as I push the finish button, I'm going to go, woohoo, that was awesome. Well done, Sam. And I'm going to feel confident. Your confidence comes after the action, not before it. So if you're never doing the action because you're scared, you're never building up your confidence. And it doesn't have to be a massive thing like doing a live either. It can be a really tiny thing, but just do it. Do the action, you'll feel confident afterwards. So those are my 3 tips today. Number 1, trusting yourself. Don't seek external opinions. You know what you feel, think, and want to do. Trust your own opinion. Number 2, dating yourself, always. Number 3, regularly seeking discomfort and doing the action, because that's when you're going to feel confident afterwards.